Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I have got a best of one ladder game coming up. It is between a Terran and a Protoss, and that means good fun times. It's on Neoplanet S, and in the bottom left position we have got the red Protoss player, the Grandpa Toss himself. It is WhiteRa. And his opponent, up in the top right, the blue Terran, with the clan tag Wild, it's Breach. So, Protoss versus Terran on Neoplanet S. Well, I'm going to start by talking a little bit about what Protoss players can really do nicely on this map. For a start, taking a natural base isn't too hard because there's a really nice choke area here. The other things that can be really good are blink plays because of massive amounts of cliff area that you can really hop up and down. And also, actually airplay isn't too bad, especially proxied air. Anything like proxy Stargate can usually lead to some good fun, especially up in these sort of positions. A proxy Stargate up here can be hilarious to try and take this out, because you've also got the escape path if needed. Now, for a Terran player, well, this is actually where things can get pretty funky too, because Reapers aren't a bad choice, as there is, again, the cliff area there. They can also take their natural relatively quickly. Drops work highly effectively due to this little area of cliff that can come in, and yeah, with this, I think this could be a really fun game. Usually, Neoplanet S doesn't lead to massively long games, just because taking a third isn't the easiest thing in the world, and that's because of the nice little attack path around the back, and the fact that there's two equal length attack paths around the center, which simply just means that if you try and defend up at your third, a little splinter group of units can come straight into your natural and wipe that out fairly easily. So something that both of these players do need to be keeping an eye out for. We can see Breach is going for that gas and the rack, so probably going to be starting off with a Reaper, which is to be expected on this map, so I don't think that's going to catch WhiteRa off guard. WhiteRa has got just the single assimilator down at the moment, although he has got a probe rallied to get his next one fairly soon. Getting two gases up nice and early just means you can get the mothership core out once the cyber core is done, and getting that mothership core early allows you to start banking up energy, photon overcharge, time warp, and all those fun little things that many a Terran player think are ridiculously overpowered, but actually lead to some really fun engagements. So this is, for the time being, not looking too crazy. Interestingly, a reactor coming down here on the barracks as opposed to getting down the Reaper quite yet. No units actually getting made for Breach at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see if what he's going to pump out of there. He could still go for the Reapers because he's got quite a bit of gas banked up. He could also start up the factory fairly quick, and there's one Reaper and one Marine, so it's just getting best of both worlds. It means the Reapers will hit slightly later by getting out that reactor first, but for WhiteRa, Stalker on the way. No real sign of much else, no second gas taken yet. He's probably just going to go and take a natural Nexus now, because he's pushed this back, he's realised not too much is coming in. WhiteRa hasn't actually scouted out anything yet. This is the furthest he can see. He hasn't ever dared to go outside of his base. Meanwhile though, Breach has managed to go on a little bit of an adventure, and all he saw was there was one gas, and that was pretty much it. So he knows really what WhiteRa's doing. The gas timings is the important thing to scout, and as long as you've got that information, then, well, you can adapt to everything else appropriately. Reaper is on its way across the map at the same time as Stalker, going the other way around the map. Without that Stalker there, until the sentry gets out, dealing with the Reaper could be a little bit difficult, because obviously a Reaper can kite a Zealot indefinitely, but this is allowing Breach to confirm that, yeah, the natural is down. Just going to walk straight up past the Zealot, just like, yo, what up, I got a jetpack, and is now going to come straight in, sees the timing of the second gas, also just taking a quick look down for any tech, can even try and take out a couple of probes here, which is actually really irritating. One kill already on that Reaper. Of course, combat drugs will make sure that it gets healed up nice and quickly, but there is the sentry out. Reaper just managing to get away with 4 health. The Stalker, meanwhile, just came in, saw that there's no natural base, and that's going to mean the WhiteRa is going to be slightly concerned about the 1-1-1 play, which many Protoss players have been very concerned about, but not WhiteRa. He's just getting down his robotics facility, getting down an additional gateway, and it's just like, well, I know you on one base, so you're going to be putting in some kind of pain to me, and as long as I'm prepared for anything, then it should be fine. It's probably going to be a Widow Mine drop now. Just with the second Widow Mine coming out, there should be 4 Marines by the time that medevac's finished, plus 2 Widow Mines. Whether he goes for the main or natural is to be seen, but this poor Reaper, he's just going to get a good little read off, sees the robotics facility, sees the additional 2 gateways. I'm really getting all the information he'll want, but is not likely to get away unless there is some masterful micro here. It will be near impossible. The Reaper nearly makes it, but then the mothership core is just like, no. Stop being silly. I'm not allowing that to happen. The final 2 Marines, just a couple of seconds away. Oh, the medevac going before loading up all 4. So this drop is not as potent as it could have been if the timing was fractionally better out of Breach. But still, the medevac is going to be able to come in. There's no detection around here at the moment. A robotics bay is on its way, but the observer is yet to get started. So no observer simply means that if the Widow Mines do manage to burrow up, it's going to be a right pain. A Raven even coming out behind this. Tech Lab's added on to the factory as well, so he's going up straight into tank play, which is quite interesting, not something that you really often see. But now the drop on its way through. Are the Widow Mines going to be able to get burrowed? The answer is yes, they will. The Observer now on its way out. There is a very nice little quick photon overcharge, but the medevac is taking some damage here. The Widow Mine needs to get dropped out, needs to get burrowed. There we go, burrowed up, and the Widow Mine, here he goes. The probes need to be ever so careful. There could be a massive detonation here, and that is the hit that Breach would have wanted. All of the probes clumped up there. That was not friendly to see. The Widow Mine, the 10-kill Widow Mine, is probably not going to do anything. The one in the main was also taken out, but that was spectacular for Breach. 14 probes killed this game, most of which from that 10-kill Widow Mine, and that is why they are just oh so dangerous. That puts the worker count now 31 probes to 28 SCVs. The natural base though is only just really getting started now by the Terran players, so that's really the plus side for WhiteRa, is he can keep chrono boosting out 2 probes at a time, but my goodness, he has got to make sure that he doesn't take any more losses like that, or he will be so far behind there may not be any coming back. A Banshee on its way out now, but is that going to get out in time to join this army? Probably. We've got a Raven, we've got the medevac there. This is going to potentially be a fairly nice push. That mothership core taking quite a lot of damage, but is now being just ignored in favor of the rest of this push coming through. The tank is there, going to take a couple of shots from the mothership core. The Banshee on its way over too. This is all WhiteRa has to defend. How is he possibly going to do this? I just don't know. The Colossus is on its way out. He's got to try and buy himself some time. Got to try and get another wave of warpins. The Colossus does not have extended thermal launch yet. It's only half done, but luckily there's no Marauders in this composition. The Colossus doing so much damage, but the Marines are now closing up the distance. The Banshee is going to be able to snipe that off, and this is Breach breaching the natural base, and yeah, this is looking really good for the Terran player for the time being. WhiteRa is about to get his next Colossus out. If he keeps chrono boosting it, it will be out in just a few short seconds, but I don't think that he's going to be able to save this natural base, because there's just too much stuff here. The Zealots trying to close up the distance to those Marines, but the mothership core was taken out, and just getting the photon overcharge out before it goes back, so this is going to help, but the Nexus does fall. Only 1 Marine, 2 tanks and a Banshee remaining, and Breach is happy with the damage he's done and is going to just fall back, because why keep putting on the pressure when you know that you've done what you need? The 3rd command center on its way. The 2nd command center is finished, not morphed into an orbital yet, not floated down to the natural yet, so that needs to happen quite soon. But there is Cloak getting researched, of course, on the balance test map on the arcade. Of course, Cloak has got a reduced cost, so we'll wait to see how that affects Terran play in general. There is the engineering bay coming down, there is the armory coming down. This is turning out to be a very, very fun game. 2 Banshees, though, getting ready to make their way forward. Are we going to see this Nexus get forced to cancel? Is there really any anti-air out on the field? The answer, no, there's just a single Colossus. That is all. There is nothing but 1 Colossus on the field at the moment. Breach, go for it. Just go in. There's nothing that can deal with your mighty Banshee, even without Cloak. This single Colossus, be so careful. If that gets sniped off, that would be massive. Oh, the Banshee, you're going to see it. Okay, the Banshee do just spot it. Are they going to go in? No, not yet. Okay, the Colossus moving forward. Be careful, Colossus. Banshee, go. Go, Banshee. Banshee, okay, the Banshee not going yet. They are going to discover this 3rd base, though, and will be able to take that out. Meanwhile, the 3rd Banshee now joining into this composition. Cloak is just 20 seconds in-game away from completion. The 3rd forced to cancel there. This is frustrating for WhiteRa. Scan going off saying, okay, what have you got? 4 Stalkers? I can kill 4 Stalkers with 3 Banshee. No problem at all. The Observer as well. That is sitting all the way over there. So if he goes in now with Cloak, he's got a nice little window of opportunity. We can see that no 2nd Observer is out quite yet, and this is where these Banshee are going to start dealing a lot of damage to WhiteRa. Breach is just decimating these mineral lines, doing everything that he would want. The Observer is now there, but are the Stalkers going to be able to fare up against this many Banshee? Most likely not, especially if they are microed effectively. More Stalkers going down, more probes going down. The Banshee need to get away though, because otherwise it won't be that cost effective. But we can see so far cost effective is one thing the Breach is doing massively well. 4,000 resources lost by WhiteRa, just over 1,500 lost by the Terran player. In terms of workers killed as well, 23 to 3. The worker count 43 SCVs to 35 probes, plus a third now landed here, morphing into a planetary fortress. Well, Breach is going to be very, very happy about that. WhiteRa's supply really says it all. He's 30 supply behind, well, and they're both under 100, so this is going to be really tough, but this could be the toughest part of all. A big push making its way across the map. And there is so little to defend here. Just the gateway support is what's really lacking. WhiteRa spending all of his money desperately trying to get some more units out. The Observer, I don't believe, has even seen this yet. It is about to, well, a probe may be about to discover this. It's not. Oh no. The Stalker's moving forward. He has no clue that this is coming. We see the push is just behind that probe. It's going to be met by complete surprise. The Banshee now doing some nice damage. The tanks start to siege up. Moving forward. Photon Overcharge is triggered on that planetary fortress. The Immortal already taking some good fire. The Banshee's going to try and pick that off. Where is the Observers? Well, one is over there. One is at the back of the Natural. So the Cloaked Banshee could get detected if they start moving in. And now, in forward goes this push. It's got to wait for planetary fortress, for Nexus Cannon rather, to wear off, because if you try and push in while that Photon Overcharge is still going, it can be a bit problematic. But there is the point. Defense drone, nice little move there with the Raven, and this just means that with the Seeker missile targeted straight towards this mothership core, it is going to get taken out. Good damage done as well to the Immortal on the ground, but Stalker's coming in from the back. WhiteRa going for the surround position and actually doing fairly okay. Unfortunately, those Banshee are still doing so much damage. The Colossus with extended thermal lance trying to demolish that Thor. Now only 2 tanks remain and those 3 Banshee, but the Stalker's doing a good job of trying to wear them down. But there are just so many Banshee there that it's really difficult to do. WhiteRa is most certainly not out of the woods yet, but at least he is out of the immediate danger of dying. So, can he keep this up? Can he make sure that these trades keep going in his favour, or at least not dying? But with this third up, I'm just so fearful that WhiteRa is not going to be able to keep up economically. Look at the worker count difference, 10 worker advantage plus those mules. That means Breach is going to be fairly happy, especially with the gas income. He's pumping out more high-tech units. Blink is done, as we saw there, from WhiteRa. But Banshee's coming into the main. They're going to try and do some more damage. They pick up this pylon. It is a bit of an Artosis pylon, and that means that these gateways are unpowered. Cloak now going down on one of the Banshees. The second one, unfortunately, was out of energy, so cannot be saved. Another Banshee finding another pylon around here. WhiteRa is just being contained so well. It's just slowly being picked apart, and that is not what he's going to want right now. He's going to want to try and be able to ramp up his economy, ramp up his supply, just to be able to compete with this. But for the moment, Breach, he's got the +1 infantry weapons and +1 vehicle armor, +2 vehicle armor and +2 infantry weapons is also on its way down. Combat shield and stim getting researched, so this upgrade advantage going really rather nicely for the Terran. WhiteRa needs to have an answer to this. He's going for the Forge, but he just can't afford to get everything that he wants. He needs to be spending his money. He needs to be warping in those gateway support units. Still, only the single Colossus. And WhiteRa doing the time-old Protoss approach to, if behind, one must Dark Shrine. And as long as you do that, then you have a hope still. But missile turrets are down. Breach knows that is potentially his only vulnerability, and therefore is making sure that he's got detection around absolutely everywhere. And that's such a smart play by him. He knows that he's ahead economically and in the macro game, so as long as he doesn't lose to anything too cheeky, nothing should be of a concern to him. We've got a pylon coming back down here for WhiteRa. He wants the reinforcements coming in. These Stalkers are going to get caught out of position. At least one should go down here, maybe even more, but the engagement is coming. Breach just pushing forward, but a good little blink there from WhiteRa means that he gets away with 3 of the 4 Stalkers. But the 4th base on its way down for the Terran player already. The 3rd trying to be secured by WhiteRa. But if WhiteRa can't get this up, then guess what? He is going to have huge problems in order to stay in this game, because he is already 60 supply behind that of his opponent. The engagement is coming down. The Colossi doing quite nicely, or should I say Colossus. The Stalkers, though, they're only going to be able to tank up so much of this damage. The Marauders are still doing nice. There's the blink back. The Colossus is going to fall. Things not looking good for the Protoss player here. A time warp being used, but unfortunately the Mothership Core is going to die. And now, with nothing standing in his way but one Stalker and these 4 Stalkers from behind, will Breach be able to do it? He's starting to lose chunks of this army, and with the DTs there too. Actually, they're doing some really nice damage. WhiteRa, once again, so nicely done here in terms of just holding off what should be a near impossible defense. He's got no answer to the Banshee at the moment, but at least the Thors are going down to these DTs. No scan energy apparently is around in order to pick those off, and that means the Thors are going to fall. These 3 DTs doing a spectacular amount of damage, and for now, WhiteRa is going to be able to hold. That's also allowed him to be very, well, a bit more cost effective than he's been previously using those DTs. We've got more Colossi getting pumped out, more Immortals getting popped out, and even an Archon getting morphed in here. The one lone DT is going to make his way across the map, trying to get a little bit of counter damage in. But to be honest, it's not looking too good for him because there's missile turrets down everywhere, and there's even now a Raven on its way out. So that Raven coming down is going to be really important in order to grant that mobile detection, because I think if there was a Raven with that army push, Breach could have won the game there. But now the DT is going to start working away. This DT's already got 4 kills. Going to try and get a couple of worker kills before getting taken out, but it's not enough to level it out. 80 SCVs to just 60 probes. Things looking so good for the Terran player. I would not want to be in WhiteRa's situation right now. He's going to be struggling with this, but he does have at least some upgrades now in the works. +1 on its way, but that's up against +2 infantry weapons and +2 vehicle and ship armor. That is a big upgrade advantage for Breach, and something that WhiteRa really doesn't have an answer to at the moment. He doesn't have any upgrades. As I said, +1 is only just on its way. This may be the final push, but we'll have to wait and see if it's going to be. Can WhiteRa get another miracle hold? Well, the Immortals are just vaporizing. The Stalkers getting one-shotted, and even the Colossus now just getting eased apart. The Thor's getting carried up, because nothing like going for a double Thor drop if you just want to win in style. And there is WhiteRa with the GG out. So this is very, very nice for Breach. He played that absolutely brilliantly. Some great little pushes, and it all started with that miracle Widowmine hit, getting 10 probes. So I hope you all enjoyed that cast. If you did, make sure you like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with yet another new video. I'm Madals, thanks for watching, and bye for now.